My girlfriend says she has my murder planned out. So we were FaceTiming like we usually do, but we got into an argument yesterday which turned into a fight. I didn't think it was that bad, but she got extremely heated and said, quote unquote, "I have your F/King murder planned out, you should be scared of me." She hung up on me after she said that. I texted her apologizing and tried to call her, but it went right to voicemail. I'm supposed to be going to her house today, but I'm actually nervous. She never has got that mad/said anything remotely that crazy. He always answers me no matter what. I know her as a sweet and nice human being, but what she said shocked me and is out of this world. Should I just wait it out until she wants to talk again? I kinda don't want to die today. I'm not dead. I contacted the police and filed a police report, and I have paperwork to fill out regarding a potential restraining order. For now, I am perfectly safe. I have dipped and I'm heading back to my parents' place for a while. I have cut all contact with her, just like what basically everyone said, and I'll never see her again. Thank you for all the help and responses. I've read every comment and I am very thankful for all the great comments and the humorous comments as well. I never expected this much advice, and I hope this post will help people in the future. Without you guys I might be dead. Thank you everyone and have a great day. Block her and leave your house for a while if she knows where you live. Go no contact. That's it. Screw how she feels or her whatever excuse you have. That's like the biggest reddest flag ever. She told you she's gonna kill you and has it planned over a fight. There is a lot of toxic people in this subreddit, but ain't no one planning murders and carrying them out. Leave. I'm one step ahead of you. Lamau. I'm at my friend's house hiding with two people, him and his 12 gauge. Well, I guess you let the police know about this. Then you break up with that crazy and hope she leaves you alone. Tell her, you win. I'm scared of you. I don't feel safe in this relationship. Please don't contact me again. Then, block her, never talk to her again, and move on with your life. Tell her, you win. I'm scared of you. I don't feel safe in this relationship. Please don't contact me again. I honestly think Op should skip this part. That's giving her a heads up that they, not sure of Op's gender, are planning to leave, which could be dangerous. Leaving an abusive relationship, and it sounds like this has crossed the line into the beginning of one, though it's possible there were more subtly abusive behaviors occurring previously, is the most dangerous time period for abuse, and any giveaway to the abuser can place a victim at greater risk. But yes, I absolutely agree with the blocking and cutting contact. I would tell someone, parents, maybe even the cops. That's not normal, dude. And if she says she was just joking, not funny, not okay, and she ignored you right after, I'll call the cops soon. But in case she is just really mad at me, I don't want her to get in trouble with her school or something. I was a 23-year-old widow 16 years ago. 16 years. My husband died 16 years ago in a drive-by. I had a special needs 2-year-old, and I was 6 months pregnant. Fast forward to today, I'm remarried and life isn't easy, but it's good. I just had another baby. Well, anyway, tonight on Facebook, under a picture of me and my new son, my late husband's brother made a comment. He said, "We are happy for you, but you should remember your life would have been different if my brother was alive." So now I'm sitting here crying. Why would he say that? It belittles the grief I went through, and I just think it's incredibly cruel. I mean, if he wanted to talk about this, he could have called or texted. But to say this in a comment on Facebook, how would you guys feel? Am I taking this wrong, or was that cruel? Update/edit. I woke up to so many encouraging and lovely posts, and I want to say thank you. Last night, after I was crying on the couch and talking to my husband about what my old bill had said, I was floored and trying to decide if I should ignore it and move on, B, delete it and move on, C, block him and move on, D, or contact him and attempt to empathize with him. Well, my husband went and read the comment, and between the harshness of it and my tears, went into full protection mode, and he commented and said, "Seriously, WTF?" Bill responded quickly with, "Fuck you, bro." So I opted to block Bill and delete his comments. My husband did apologize to me, he knows I lead with kindness and don't generally encourage harsh confrontations. I told my husband not to worry or feel bad though. I appreciate that he came from a place of wanting to protect. I'm not angry at Bill today, but I feel some relief that he is off my page and can't surprise me like that again. I deeply and madly loved my late husband. He was my first everything. Our first child was a junior with his real name, and he wanted to name our second child after himself. When he was alive, I thought that was silly, but I honored his wishes when he passed. I was broke for many years, but I had to smile for my boys. I had to live for them. I found a man who loves my children, and they love him. Thank you, everyone, because I felt much better with your words and strength. I tend to doubt myself, but you all made it better. Edit 2, my sister ended up messaging my Bill, and he apologized, so it's all wrapped up now. Conversation. What an asshole. Wow, no, I never, ever think about my late husband. Thanks so much for the reminder. What would I do without people like you to remind me that I don't ever get to even dare look happy for a moment again, let alone accept that nothing will bring him back and go on with my life as best I can. Or, if you want to be more diplomatic, of course I miss husband, former Bill. I'm not sure why you would feel the need to question that, but I'd appreciate it if you don't do it in my Facebook comments again. Thanks. Yes Bill, my life would have been different if, husband, had lived. But he didn't and I had to take what was left of what we had together and build a new life with it, for my sake and the sake of our children. I had to move on, day after painful day, instead of being frozen in time. I won't ever apologize for being strong enough to do this, but you have my sympathy if you cannot. Ask him if he's stupid. I really can't imagine literally any reason he would say that, especially on Facebook, to the widow of his dead brother. Ask him if he's stupid. No need to ask, really. It's right there in black and white. That's such an awful thing to post, and I'm sure the grieving is still there, so that is uncalled for. But if I can say, I'm proud of you for keep on going in life and finding love again. It's a hard thing to do, so I am happy you found that again. My 42M wife, 42F, doesn't want to see her sister for Thanksgiving. It's wildly out of character for her. Hello. Looking for practical advice here. Not solidarity, and not someone to drag my wife, because there's no way I can frame this to make her look good. My wife and I have been dating/married since 2007. She's always been family first. Even to the point where I had to talk to her about me being a third wheel every holiday season with her fam. Over the 13 years I've known her, she's bent over backwards to be there for her family every time she's been needed. Also important, wife and I generally agree on politics. I'm a traditional fusionist right-winger, and she's a conservative Catholic, more Catholic than conservative. But recently she's taken it to another level. My wife's sister wants everyone to get COVID tested before attending a small Thanksgiving gathering. I figure, no problem. Test kits seem to be plenty today. I fucked up now, and it should be routine for most doctors. Sure, it's not foolproof. I could get tested on Tuesday and get infected on Wednesday, but it's somewhat protective. My wife then floors me. My wife, family first woman for all the decades she's been alive, tells me she's not attending Thanksgiving at her sister's. WTF, right? Turns out my wife is in full conspiracy mode. She thinks Bill Gates is trying to consolidate power via COVID countermeasures and such. Somehow this leads to conspiracy B and then C, etc., and ends in her saying, I'm not getting tested. So I'm at a crossroads. Some countermeasures I've considered are: 1. Try to talk to her myself. Our marriage is much better than it was 6 months ago, but that mostly applies to our sex life and how much better we're at resolving D2D issues. We still can't talk about big things like conspiracies because she knows I hate conspiracy theories, and I've blown up at her for being anti-vax. So she's not going to be open to changing her mind to me about COVID, I don't think. 2. Try pulling in her sister/family. This one seems really manipulative to me, and I don't want to cause a huge rift between my wife and the people she cares about the most. I honestly think divorcing my wife would cause her less harm than deploying her family in a vain attempt to talk some sense into her. My wife is stubborn and will retreat deep into her shell once she feels like she's being criticized. She's already isolated as is because of COVID. 3. Get me and 4-year daughter tested and go without wife. We're going to have fun. Are you coming? Out of all the solutions I've listed, this is the one I think will most likely result in all 3 of us attending her sister's Thanksgiving. 4. Same as number 3, but divorce her. 2. I care about my wife, but if I knew this about her before we got married, I wouldn't have done it. But we have a 4-year kid and I've seen how broken families can damage people. My wife and I are generally good relationship role models, and our home is abuse-free. Plus our marriage is as good as it's been since 4-year was born. Can anyone comment on my solutions here, or offer a better number 5? Based on what you said about her prior beliefs, this seems to be in character rather than out of character. 2. Try pulling in her sister/family. This one seems really manipulative to me, and I don't want to cause a huge rift between my wife and the people she cares about the most. I honestly think divorcing my wife would cause her less harm than deploying her family in a vain attempt to talk some sense into her. My wife is stubborn and will retreat deep into her shell once she feels like she's being criticized. She's already isolated as is because of COVID. Staging an intervention or something similar to get her to see some sense wouldn't be manipulative. You would be doing her a favor in the long run. 4. Same as number 3, but divorce her. 2. I care about my wife, but if I knew this about her before we got married, I wouldn't have done it. But we have a 4-year kid and I've seen how broken families can damage people. My wife and I are generally good relationship role models, and our home is abuse-free. Plus our marriage is as good as it's been since 4-year was born. Yes, a broken family can damage people, but you need to understand that a dysfunctional family living under one roof can be more broken and damaging than divorced parents. Has your wife always been a crazy conspiracy theorists type like that, or is this new? If it's new, like since COVID, you should talk to her and try to get her some mental health help. She's always been conspiratorial, anti-vax, pro-alternative medicine, but it seems to have increased since COVID. She also shared concern about Wayfair selling kids online in the guise of overpriced furniture. Short term, spend Thanksgiving at home with your wife and child/Ren. You won't be the only ones doing so. In fact, most people in my immediate circles are not back/doing the travel/host/big dinner due to COVID. Longer term, you and your wife should go to therapy. I don't know if therapy can help deprogram your wife, but at least you can find ways to make things work better. Check out r/QAnon on casualties. Holy shit, that place is a dark descent into tragedy. Bless your heart if you yourself have loved ones tangled up in that nightmare. Crying face. Just curious here, she's not going because her sister asked for everybody to get COVID tested. Her sister sounds very reasonable, although as you say you can get tested Tuesday and become infected on Wednesday, but nevertheless, it's a good precautionary measure. You should just go with your daughter, but I think you have a way bigger issue here. Sorry about the example, it seems realistic to me at least, but it looks like you're dealing with a cult follower. Sometimes it's difficult to understand how educated people can fall for these conspiracy theories. If that happened to my wife, I'd be more than concerned. I know beliefs are personal and that's okay, but I also believe there is a limit on being reasonable and being able to be in a healthy relationship. It's easy to say divorce her, like most people do when commenting, but I think you should address this through counseling to see if your relationship has any kind of future. In the meantime, enjoy Thanksgiving with your daughter and be alert on how your wife's beliefs can end up affecting your daughter. I would go with number 4, and couples counseling is a condition of staying in the relationship. I'm confused and concerned that you are allowing conspiracy theories to dictate your life. Can't stay in a marriage where these theories become more important to you than family. I'd like us to start attending couples counseling so we can work through these differences with a neutral party. Regardless of your decision, daughter and I will get tested and attend Thanksgiving. We hope you will join us.